So here we are, Mark Dimas at Originator Connect in Vegas.
Yeah,
it's a beautiful sphere behind us, and the golf course. And I don't know if you all can see the sphere in the camera or not, but the sphere actually has Mark Dimas's picture on it. He's right there, and it's saying #1 agent in the universe right there on the sphere. This Vegas actually had a celebration, a party, and the ticker tape parade because Mark Dimas was in town.
Well, thank you. What a great welcome. It's an honor to be here, though. Thank you.
Yeah. So I got to ask, though, we were at the conference, and I called you out, and I said the #1 agent in the universe is in the room, and you raised your hand, right? And so did you get mobbed by loan officers afterwards for your business?
I actually didn't. And that's not surprising to me. It is surprising to me in one way, because if I were trying to learn from somebody of a high caliber, or somebody that I wanted to be like or emulate or get some ideas from, I definitely would reach out to them if I had the opportunity. But it's interesting that even in big events, where when I'm on stage, I tell them, hey, I'm a very accessible person. If you come up to me, I'm easy to talk to. I'll help you with your tips on how to grow your business, or if you reach out to me on social media, I'll respond. But maybe people are intimidated, or they don't want to take that next step. But when they do, the people that do, it's a great thing to learn from people who's already been there. I've spent hundreds of thousands of dollars making mistakes, 22 years in the traditional business, learning and growing. And those are, I think, valuable nuggets that you can gain from people. I try to learn from people and from books, So to answer your question, they did not mob me, but maybe the next one they will.
Okay, because I was actually a little nervous about saying that. I thought, okay, you're all going to get harassed. But yeah, then I looked, and I was like, no one's approaching you. So it's like, okay, this is a couple hundred very, very timid loan officers in this room. But you made a good point about mistakes. So what mistakes would you like to share with us that you go back and rethink and say, I learned a lot from those mistakes?
That's a really good question. Maybe I should have put it that it's more of my experiences that I've learned from. I don't really regret things in my life. I am where I am because of the decisions that I've made, the obstacles that have come to me and I've overcome. I think it's more of that I can help people who are trying to scale their business or grow their business or mindset, because I've learned through those challenges of going through it myself in my daily life. I would say that, I used to, some of the mistakes is I used to think very small when it came to network. When I started first in my business, it was really head down. I didn't go to broker open houses. I didn't go to conferences. I didn't really feel, because I was so naive, that learning from other people or their networks could get me somewhere, that I really needed to put my head down and work hard and concentrate on my own thing and my own clients and get there. And it wasn't until my first conference in 2012, it was actually a NAREP conference in LA, that I went to because I won an award, a nationwide recognition for, at the time it was number 17 realtor in the country, that I was able to meet the friends that I have. Actually, we're connected because of those friends from that network. So my mindset and the paradigm of my business has definitely shifted to know that hard work is #1, the foundation for success, but that who and the hard work can really catapult you to the next level. So I think that's one lesson that I've learned.
Yeah. One of the things that I actually learned something from, I don't know, was it you or was it Eddie that said this at lunch? Thoroughbreds want to hang out with thoroughbreds, not donkeys.
Right.
Right. And that's like, dovetailing on what you said about conferences, is every time I go to these conferences and I'm hanging out with other, like, whatever, the best in technology or the best in real estate or, best in marketing, is like just spending 10 minutes with these people, you get something.
Right. And
you get a little nugget, that you get a perspective that you never thought about. You get an idea, right? Because they have a certain spirit, a certain aura. And even though they didn't say anything that you didn't already know, but somehow, some reason, when you're around other successful people, other people with passion, not even success. Success is not the real measurement. You can't really measure something just based on the size of somebody's bank account. But if somebody with real passion and vision, when you hang around those people, it's like that energy comes to you, and then your brain just kind of
It kicks.
yeah. And I always pick up one or two nuggets, and then I start applying it right away. That's the other thing is, I see the mistake people make. They go to conferences, they pick up ideas and stuff, and then when they go back home, they're back to the old habits. They don't apply anything they learn.
Exactly. You know, that's my philosophy as well. You know, when you go to a conference or you're learning from somebody, just pick up one nugget. You don't have to implement everything. If you can take one nugget that you learn, apply it in your business, it could change it. You know, and yeah, the quote is, thoroughbreds don't like to hang out with donkeys. Thoroughbreds like to hang out with thoroughbreds. And that's because we encourage each other. We mastermind, we understand that we come from a standpoint of abundance. And when you are able to share your successes and different practices, then you elevate each other. And definitely that energy just attracts that energy, that good energy for business.
That's right. And there's something, you know, I'm sorry you all watching this through the camera, you're just not going to feel the same unless you're actually sitting next to Mark. And the energy he's got, it's just like, unfortunately doesn't transcend the internet. Right? And there's a reason why. I think you're closing 5 deals a day. Right?
Oh yeah, my biggest year in real estate was 3,200 transactions, $971 million in volume, and my biggest month was 790 transactions where I was closing 5 deals an hour.
5 deals an hour, right?
Yeah, an amazing time. We have a powerful team. You know, my team, the Mark Dimas team, has done great things throughout the past 2 decades. Started real estate in 2002, and since then we've sold 2.7 billion, a little over 2.7 billion in volume, and helped 10,000 families into houses.
That's incredible. So think about it, folks. 5 deals an hour, right? And yes, I would vouch for that. He is incredibly approachable and a very kind human being, and just is so humble. You don't realize that someone of his stature is in the room, but when you're next to him and you feel the energy flows, and you know automatically, like, okay, this isn't a normal person.
Well, you're being kind. You're being super kind, but I really appreciate that you would say that. Okay. One of my love languages is words of affirmation, so you're hitting it. So thank you very much.
That's an interesting term, love language. Tell me about that.
You know, there's a book called The 5 Love Languages, and I'm trying to remember all of them, but there are receiving gifts. Some people love, and it's important to use this I believe in your life and in business. There's also the business love languages that are less, like, I guess, more politically correct. But my 2 are words of affirmation and acts of service. That means that even though I give gifts to people as a way that I show love to other people, appreciation, receiving gifts are great, but they really are not as important as somebody saying, hey, Mark, you did a great job. Especially when I speak. When I'm on stage and I'm speaking for people, I have this sense of, I don't know if it's called anxiety, but it's the desire to want to do well for the person I'm speaking for. To do well for the audience, to say, did I give them value? Did I give them a nugget that they can actually use? Because if I'm just wasting their time and speaking about things that they really can't use to change, then I'm not doing well. So that extra words of affirmation, they help give me the energy that I need to do better, right? The other one is acts of service. So when somebody comes to me and says, hey, Mark, I'll help you with that. And that's where my team comes in. Mark, don't do that. We'll take care of that. You focus on this. That shows that they care. The other ones are gift giving, physical touch. So, for like a relationship, it might be hugs and kisses. For in a business relationship, it might be a pat on the back, a dap, a recognition could be another one. Some people are not swayed by a bonus. They're swayed by recognition. They're swayed by, and they feel good whenever you give them an award or you recognize them in a way. So, yes, the book is The 5 Love Languages.
Speaking of love, tell us a little bit about your personal life.
Yeah, for sure. So I have an amazing partner, Nikki, and we have a new son. His name is Marcelo. Marcelo is just turned 2, May 17th. He's a NICU baby, so he was born at 26 weeks, wow. 3.5 months early. When he was born, he fit in the palm of my hand. We spent 74 days in the NICU. Amazing people to experience their love and their giving, those NICU nurses. Shout out to UTMB, natal division, or the NICU department. But now he's doing great. He's jumping around, he's big, he's laughing, no problems. I also have 4 adult children. So my oldest daughter Jasmine's 29, she's married. Her husband Nick, amazing man. She works for me in my company. He works in a different company, but he's in the real estate business as well. I have twins, boy and girl. Roman, he also works for me, 24 years old. He's got a partner that he's been with since his first girlfriend, since he was 15. And then his sister Faith, she's also 24, she's a twin. And she just got engaged to Daniel, and Daniel, my future son-in-law, works for me as well. Faith is a chemist. She's a great woman. And then my youngest daughter, Emma, she just got married as well to Roy, and Roy is in the military. I think he's going to be what we consider a lifer, and they live in Alaska right now.
Wow.
So yeah, beautiful family that we have.
That is a good spectrum of professions and
Yep.
viewpoints. And so one thing, I got 3 kids, and every child is different.
Yeah, that's for sure.
You would think that they're similar, right? Same family, but
Yeah.
no, completely different. And each goes their own direction. Right?
Yeah, they're definitely a joy to see them grow up and be in the different life stages, and being a father again, a bundle of joy, and especially in this time in my life, when I closed the 3,200 transactions, I spent 160 days in Mexico. My team runs if you follow the book, The Millionaire Real Estate Agent, it gives you a blueprint of teams. It's a 7th level team, to where I'm not in the business as much anymore. It runs on its own, and that gives me the ability to spend more time with my son. So it's a different dynamic and a really great time in life. So.
Okay, so basically you spend half the year in Mexico, and you're closing 5 deals an hour.
Yeah, my biggest year for sure. Right now we are building a new dream. We're launching in San Diego. So right now, for the past year, I've been traveling a lot for business.
It's pretty hush hush, and
it is.
I did get a trailer and a sneak peek into this. This is an amazing project that you're working on. And
yeah, we're really excited. Eddie Garcia is our leader in this, and
I think disruptive would be a mild term.
Well, thank you. Yeah. Yeah. We're gonna rock the world, that's for sure.
That's right, and rip apart the real estate industry.
Well, we're gonna inspire and empower our people, and we hope to change a lot of lives. We know we will change a lot of lives. And again, if you see me, walk up to me, talk to me. I'm approachable. Send me a message on Instagram, Facebook. I will respond. Maybe not within an hour, but definitely within a day or 2, you'll get a response from me.
That's a deal.
Yeah, for sure, right?
While you're sitting at the beach in Mexico, chilling, playing with your kids.
Yes. I love. Sayulita, Mexico, in Nayarit will be my place to retire. We're building a house there, so definitely a place that we find a lot of joy.
Well, the other interesting thing I learned about you at lunch is that you're half Korean.
Yeah. So my mom is Korean. My grandmother was Cuban. I don't say my father, because then you can hear what the different nationalities are. So my mom is Korean. My grandmother, born in Havana, Cuban. My grandfather was born in Texas. He's half Mexican and half Jewish. He was in the Merchant Marines, visiting Cuba. My father was actually born in Cuba, and then my father was in the Air Force, stationed in Seoul, Korea. Met my mother, brought her to the United States, and my father, grandmother, and grandfather have since passed, but that's my heritage, and very proud of it. So.
And how's your Korean?
Chocoman. That means like little.
And how's your Spanish?
Poquito, también. But I'm working on that, so definitely working on it.
Gotcha. And any words of advice, people who would, pretty much every realtor in the country looks up to you, and
I appreciate that.
One day would want to be in your position.
I got a lot of quotes that I think have transformed and shifted my life. And I'll just say the ones that I say from the stage a lot when I'm talking to people. They ask advice, because when you have these quotes or these words, even affirmations, they really help you to keep perspective. my mentor Noel King, when I got started in business and real estate, but not traditional real estate over 30 years ago, he said this: real estate is 90% luck and 10% skill. And the harder you work, the luckier you get. So that's number one. Number two, I would say that all things being considered equal, people like to do business with their friends. All things not being considered equal, people still like to do business with their friends. So when you're doing business with people, if they like you, you'll get more business. So be somebody that's approachable, likable, that has good energy, because it will make you money. That's the truth. Zig Ziglar's principle: help enough people get what they want, and you'll have everything in life you want. And it's a very simple principle when you think about real estate, because what do our clients want? They want to buy a house, they want to sell a house. So if you help them with those goals, then the money will come. Don't chase after money. We talked about that, not chasing after the dollar. I put it in the perspective of money is just really fast. It's super fast. If you try to chase it, it'll run faster than you. Hard to catch. But if you help enough people get what they want, then just money comes to you. I have an affirmation I tell people from the stage, that money comes to me in expected and unexpected ways. Expected ways are, when you work hard, you do good business, and you expect that. Unexpected ways are, I have this story. I was 4 years in the business. I had a seller. She was in her 70s, lived in her first house for over 50 years, widowed, called me to sell her home. And I asked, the one question I always ask when people do business with me: hey, how did you hear about me? And she goes: Mark, you wouldn't believe this, but I don't know any realtors. So I was on my morning walk, and I was doing a prayer, and I said, God, will you please find me a realtor to help, me sell my home? And she goes, and as soon as I was done, I looked down, and your business card was in the street. Those are unexpected ways. And so that's an affirmation I put out into the universe, and it's done me well. The other one that is the life quote that I put up on, and I see it in my office every time I go. It's John Maxwell's quote, that one is too small of a number for greatness. In order to do great things, you can't do them on your own. You need to partner with people. You need to find community, and realize that sometimes you have to dissolve the ego in order to do things that are of great importance. So, yeah, that's what we're doing now.
I can imagine after this podcast, realtors will be walking through the city and sprinkling business cards all over the
Yeah,
sidewalk.
you know what? Hey, it may work. You never know. Just don't litter in your community.
What's your vision for yourself and your family, 20, 30 years from now as you retire? What do you see?
Oh, well, my vision is to spend most of my time in Mexico, in Sayulita specifically. That's we're building a house on a mountaintop called Pascuarito, and it overlooks the Pacific Ocean, and you get the sunset and the sunrise, and I've got a lot of friends and family there, and being able to do business all around the world. And this new opportunity will afford that, to be able to collaborate and do business with a lot of people. So, yeah, we're excited about that.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much.
Hey, thank you. This is amazing.
One of my best interviews ever. I'm like massively charged up.
Well, thank you.
Right. And how about you? How about you all watching? Are you charged up? This is it. This is the real deal. You don't get this opportunity too often. Remember what he said. He's humble. I vouch for it. As humble as it gets, as approachable as it gets. You see him at the next conference, the next opportunity you get to meet him, take it. It's rare, and what you will learn, it's priceless.
Thank you. Very kind.
Cheers. Thank you all for tuning in. Appreciate
Thank you, guys.
everybody.
It's an honor.